Start recording. Hello, world. Got back at Pillars of Eternity. Giving, well, can't I do that? Gonna give streaming a try here. See how it goes. Ah, there we go. The Gilded Vale. This game does not appear to like me to Alt-Tab out. There we go. All right. Now this is where I was supposed to be going, but it appears that everyone is dead. Wow.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here. Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child? And an important one nevertheless. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst. His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here. Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
People will try anything these days, but rather have mercy. You certainly have. You said something about Hollowborn? I forgot that you foreigners don't have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Deerwood, for almost 15 years now. He lowers his voice to whisper. Children born without souls. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe barely, but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are a punishment from the gods. He raises empty hands. In truth, no one knows. But they began spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Waidwin's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender.
Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy. It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
You come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy is stuck at the heart of the Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Barath must be redoubled. I will know more details when the messengers arrive. The vagaries of childbirth, perhaps. But that is not your concern. I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest at the inn or stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. Scattered between the roots are bracelets of twine and bead, wilted flowers, and notes, half erased by the rain. Alright. Should you mad? Leave it for indoors. What would it say? Did I miss it? What if it's not the baby? Alright. Villager. Generic. Alright. Beneath the vines are crude carvings of a sun rising over 3 stars. Well, they have done a great job of drawing a very dark picture.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
As you near, you feel a vibrant history containing the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. You see a pennant waving, tall and sluggish in the winds, the sun rising embroidered on the banner, the vanguard of a small troop of paladins. The atmosphere is buoyant and restrained, and their armor has not been tarnished by the elements. This expedition is fresh, young, filled with zest and zeal. At their head stands a commander, awkward in full armor, but determined in step. Despite the excitement of his fellows, he does not smile. There's a twist to his mouth. His countenance grim. He throws up a hand, halting his troops. Silence falls among them, revealing a dark thunder deep and low. He orders them to ready their weapons and spread out, eyes dark from horizon to horizon, necks twisting, to see the source of the sound. In the distance, dust and lightning rise from the ground as Stygian clouds race towards them overhead. The soldiers stand, only the staccato movement of their breath betraying their nerves. The commander closes his eyes, calling a blessing down on his troops. Invigorated and invincible, they wait as the enemy draws close, poised to attack. Can I talk to him now? No. Okay. So I can read people's soul. You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their voices raised, chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hand for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we?
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Mocking us even while he shelters in our village. Just goes to show you what these fancy and dear manners are worth. We don't take kind of that kind of treatment. Not from foreigners, especially not from Adirans.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cock's feather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
You're not going to take that from him, are you? Knock me out of all of them.
Finish them!
Ooh.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation. Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts, though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
Strains his hood, you note the remains of a fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt from months' travels, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service. I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here? In Gwithan Ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there? You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments. An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave...
I'm just checking something. All right.
Indeed. In that case, welcome to Gilded Vale, a true refuge from civilization. I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
Rated RP to M.
Out of the night that covers me, black is the pit.
That. So I tried to tell them they misheard me. Happens all too easy after a few points. Yes, it does slip.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places. As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers. Excellent. I shall follow. Excellent. I shall follow you.
Lots and lots of plants to collect. Now let's go to the... Wow, this really does feel like obfuscate.
How do you do?
Let's see what you got for sale. Camping supplies. I can buy 8. Okay, cool. Wow, so food has definite benefits. Awesome. Really, how do I enchant? Ooh, awesome. They got a thorough enchanting system. But it's very expensive. But it also means I can't go selling willy-nilly either. Close. Yeah, virtually the same. I don't think I use a sword, no mace, no rapier. I don't keep a bow in case. I don't really want a crossbow. No battle axe, no hatchet. Lots of armor, leather armor. Hide armor, scale armor. I'll keep those. Hood, cape. Lockpick. Torches, those all seem useful. And those seem like things I need. Guess it won't let me. Oh, good money then. Insular characters dress without using camping supplies. Cheap rooms are usually available, but if you have copper to spend, you may consider more expensive options. The bonuses they provide last for a long time and affect the entire party. Yeah. Their sleep is restless and fever is softened by hisses and whispers, pointing you with the suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of the gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face is shriveled inward like molten fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she's mere inches from your face. Suddenly, her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts in another gust of rancid air. She speaks a word, Watcher. You jolt awake and smell, foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. So it runs down your face. Thick droplets in your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face. When you spoke to that magistrate, he called her an animancer. Though it fills you with a new, queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only confirming she's truly dead. As you near, you feel a vibrant history containing the essence of this woman's soul. Voices from this past and call out to you. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potions, badges, tinctures, and herbs are scattered throughout her room haphazardly. She bites her lips and tilts to the side, considering. She begins to repack one item after another, carefully deliberating, undercut by shaking hands. Careful deliberation, undercut by shaking hands, excuse me. Each time you have a clearly marked place. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. Shaking worsens as she empties it once more, one hand held to her mouth. Tears eke from her eyes. When she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can into the satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bare house. Straightening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red. A gangly young elf offers her condolences, but she can't see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders to the docks, offers her services as a doctor to anyone who will listen, anyone heading out to high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear in the distance, a tiny speck of an island, and tries not to jump. Soon, you see a group of young men standing around a makeshift practice target. This man stands in the middle of them, explaining the construction and use of a bow. He holds it up, pointing out each part as he speaks about it and what it does. He then walks away from the target, telling them to remain where they are, and takes his place around 200 feet away. He carefully lines up his shot, explaining what he is doing and as he does, and lets the arrow fly. It hits the target dead center, much to the surprise and delight of the boys near it. He smiles, walking towards the boys, talking about the proper stance and how to most effectively hold a bow. Noise comes from the tree line near the practice venue, and he stops, scanning the woods, blue eyes squinting against the sun. A shadow moves, making its way through the forest behind them. He draws an arrow, lines up the shot, carefully tracking the motion of the hit Christian. Loosing the arrow, he wastes no time and quickly grabs another. The boy spins, watching the arrow fly into the forest. Almost immediately lost amongst the trees, there is a sudden explosive movement in the undergrowth as a deer erupts from the tree line, running across the edge of the clearing. The boys laugh, turning to joke with the man about his lousy shot, then stop talking to see him holding the bow and leading the deer with the knocked arrow. They drop to the ground as he looses the last arrow, which flies true and strikes the deer right behind its shoulder, piercing its heart and lungs, dropping it dead almost immediately. The boys stare at the deer for a few seconds and then slowly turn and look at the newfound respect in their eyes. He smiles again and breathes a quiet sigh of relief. Alright, I'm not reading all of these. At least not aloud, excuse me. He must be a monk. He's evil. Sounds like it was. A black hound, huh? Duelist hat, huh? I should have stayed up there. Alright. I'm going to call this a finished episode, and we'll be right back.